Ugh, it's cold in the motherfucker in here. Jesus. Am I live, bro? Am I live right now? Hold on, let me see. Let me see, bruh. Okay, I think I'm live. Let me hear how I'm sounding. Okay, I sound good. All right. So what popping everybody? It's Jack Move, man. Y'all know the rest. But I don't know what I always been wanting to do this video. I kind of have done videos on this topic before, man, but what going on with y'all, bro? Basically, I just want to come and share my opinion on well, first of all, if you know Jack Move like I know Jack Move, because I happen to be Jack Move, you'll know that two of my favorite franchises of all time, man, as far as this game and shit, is Uncharted and God of War, man. It's not a coincidence that, I got my PSN account and God of War 3 released on the same day. It's not a coinky dink, all right? But I always hear people talk about, this is my favorite God of War game. This is my favorite Uncharted game. And I rarely agree with what people say. And just to preface what I'm saying, I have played every God of War game except for God of War Betrayal, which was a ended dog shit cell phone game. And I played every Uncharted game except for Fight for Fortune. And I think it was a mobile Drake fuck boy tap the treasure. I didn't play that bullshit. All right. But anyway, man, I got the platinum in all these games, man. So I'm coming at this with a very knowledgeable standpoint. Also, I've beaten every single God of War game and every single Uncharted game numerous times, okay? So, with that being said, I just want to start off by saying, well, we're going to get into this, man. God of War, okay. First, we're going to start off by ranking these God of War games, man. And it's real simple. I'm going to start off with God of War because this is real simple, cut and dry, bro. God of War 2 is the best God of War game. There's no discussion to be had. There is no way to argue this. It ain't no way around it, man. Why do I feel God of War 2 is the best game? Well, first of all, if you ask most people what their favorite God of War game is, they always say God of War 3. Why do they say God of War 3? Well, first of all, like a lot of people, like who is in the chat just said that? Like, I can't even pronounce your name, sir. But like he said, that was the only one he played. Say God of War 3, much like, games like Uncharted 4, it's the first game in the series that a lot of people play. But it's not the best, bro. It's a great game. It's not the best, dog. God of War 2 is the longest game out the series. It got the most boss fights. It got the most mini boss fights. It's just the best game, bro. I don't understand why this is even a time. People always say, I don't want God of War 3, bro. It's a great game, but guess what? God of War 3 got a terrible fucking story. Have y'all played God of War 3, bro, and paid attention to the story? That story is absolute, utter trash. I don't know who the fuck wrote that story. I think they probably got fired from Sony Santa Monica. I'm happy about this, okay? That game is awful. Story-wise, that game is absolutely awful. God of War 3 got great graphics. It got grandiose boss fights. It got a lot of nice like set pieces and shit like that. But it's not the best God of War, bro. I beat God of War 3 in 2 seconds, bro. That's how short that game. That game is like what, 6 hours, bro? That game is extremely short. A lot of it didn't make no fucking sense. And the way they ended it, the way that game ended, it painted the series in a fucking corner, bro. That's why he's going to fucking Norse mythology and Scandinavia. Blame God of War 3 for that. The creator of God of War series himself, David Jaffe, right? They had a roundtable discussion because God of War, every game was directed by a different person, right? At first, it was David Jaffe. And then God of War 2, it was Corey Barlog. Is it Barlog? Excuse me. Barlog. He's actually directing the new God of War game. So I have faith in that game, man, because he directed my favorite God of War game. In the third game, it was Stig at what's his name? Asmussen. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Stig, right? Stig. But yeah, they were having a roundtable discussion, and David Jaffe was just talking about how he thought God of War 3, the story was absolutely fucking stupid, and the way they ended was absolutely fucking stupid. But yeah, man, it was so many as far as God of War 2 go, that game got so many memorable moments, bro. I can't even go over all of them, fam. Like, it was just so many. Like, goddamn, you get to ride Pegasus in that game. Can you do that in any other God of War? Like, bro, it's just so much shit, bro. Goddamn. The story was head and shoulders above God of War 3 in every way imaginable. And who was that was tweeting me on Twitter, bro? What was their name? Chris. I think his name was Chris Barnett. This man tweeted me and said that God of War 3 and Uncharted 3 were the best out of each series. It took everything in me not to block this nigga off goddamn Twitter, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't know what you've been playing, bro. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, but you done lost your goddamn mind, fam. All right? You done lost your rabbit ass mind. All right? Okay. So, back to my ranking. I'm gonna say that God of War 2 is the best one for numerous reasons. The boss fights were lit. You get to fight, like, okay, just certain shit in God of War 2, brother. Like, just the mythology of it, like how the first God of War you fight Medusa, right? And you get Medusa's gaze. Well, in God of War 2, you fight her fucking sister. Because in Greek mythology, Medusa had two sisters. And then the third one, you fight her other sister. See, a lot of people don't even realize that, bro. But that fat ass snake looking bitch, that was Medusa's sister that you fought, right? What else was in that game? The Barbarian King fight, like how he came back. Because if you know God of War, the beginning of the game, you know, he sold his soul to the gods, specifically Ares, so he wouldn't be murdered by the goddamn barbarians and the Barbarian King. The way he came back, and there was a mini boss fight in the second game. Then you got his hammer when you beat him, and then he bought the ship cat. Like he could resurrect dead souls with the hammer, and he bought back the ship captain that you had already killed in goddamn God of War. Matter of fact, you killed him twice. You killed him once when he was in that fucking Hydra thing mouth. You pushed him down to get a key. And then when you was escaping fucking Hades, you killed him again, bro. So like just the callbacks in that game, bro. Fucking lit, fucking amazing, bro. You got the golden fleece from Jason and the Argonauts. You found that in the fucking beast, his fucking throat and shit. That game was lit, bro. You fucking fought Perseus. Because he was trying to reach the Sister of the Fates too, right? Now, I'm speaking on these games as if y'all actually played them because I don't think y'all will be listening to me rank games if y'all ain't never played these motherfuckers. But that game was great, bro. I just still remember that game, bro. Like what I often say, oh, yeah. I always tell the story about, like, game trailers. Back when game trailers was a website, they posted the trailer with Zeus. Like the trailer where Zeus betrayed fucking Kratos. When that trailer first dropped, bro, well, it was really just a cutscene. When that cutscene dropped, bro, on game trailers, I watched that motherfucker every single day. I had to watch that at least once or twice a day, bro. I was so fucking geeked for that game, bro. Oh my god, I still remember I went to goddamn that back when they used to do like midnight launches, but you get the shit a day before. I think they started doing that again, but I had to go to GameStop the day before that bitch came out. Me and my homie. I don't even fuck with this dude no more. Me and my homie, we was in that bitch. Goddamn, oh my god, the dude had to drive to Mississippi and get them and shit. It took so long for them to get back with them goddamn games, bro. But anyway, God of War 2, best God of War game. All right. So after that, I would say that God of War 3 is the next best game, man. God of War 3 is definitely the next best game, and ain't no way around it, bro. Great game. Look, the best things about God of War 3 is the shit I already mentioned: the graphics, the boss fights, the game. But the story is awful, right? I'm a huge story dude. Y'all already know that. The story in God of War 3 should be abolished, man. It was absolutely atrocious. I don't know where they was going with it, but I already talked on God of War 3. The game, the next best one after that, I would have to say, is God of War Ghost of Sparta. Now, God of War Ghost of Sparta, that was the second PSP game they made. You know, they remade it for the PS3. I really ain't got too much to say about Ghost of Sparta. What I do like about Ghost of Sparta, the same thing I like about God of War 2, man. It was a lot of callbacks to previous games. It fleshed out the mythology. I fuck with it, man. I fuck with it. Like, if you ever beat God of War, the original one on like the hardest difficulty, you got the extra cutscenes, and they were kind of like concepts for other games or where they want to go with the original God of War. And one of the cutscenes that you could unlock in the original God of War was Kratos going to speak with his mother, and she was real sickly, and she ended up telling Kratos that he was a demigod and that his father was Zeus, right? So actually in this game, in Ghost of Sparta, you went and talked to your ailing mother, and she was sickly. Oh yeah, and she turned into a fucking beast at the end. She turned into a beast, and that was a boss fight. You know what I'm saying? She didn't tell your father was Zeus, but she didn't. I don't believe she told you your father was Zeus, but yeah, it pretty much played out. She was ailing, and she told. Did she tell your father? I don't think she did, but yeah, that was a boss fight, and you ended up burying her shit. And the grave digger that you was fucking burying her with was actually fucking Zeus, the same grave digger from God of War 1. Like the bro, y'all, shit crazy, bro. What I was gonna say? Oh, and they had a lot more explanations and shit. Like they showed you, because God of War, Ghost of Sparta came out after God of War 3, right? But they explained a lot of shit, like why was Poseidon mad at you in God of War 3? You didn't know that, but it turns out that Kratos is the one that sunk the lost city of Atlantis. They showed you that. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of shit. Oh yeah, another cutscene you can unlock when you beat God of War. It was 3 cutscenes. It was the one where you found out you was a demigod. It was the one, and it had another one where like your brother, you had a long lost brother, and he came back for revenge. That was also the synopsis of Ghost of Sparta, right? And it explained why Kratos got this fucking red tattoo all over his goddamn body. Is because his brother Deimos, the prophecy, the oracle always spoke of a marked warrior, right? That was gonna save the day. And it just happened that it was his brother Deimos, because he had a fucking birthmark that looked like that, right? He had a mark all over his body. And goddamn, when they was children, Athenos and Athenos, who the fuck is Athenos? Ares and Athena captured his brother to work for the gods. And Kratos' lifelong goal was to fucking reunite with his brother. So he got that tattoo all around his body to commemorate his fucking brother, man. So that game really fleshed out a lot of story elements of the God of War series. So, honestly, Ghost of Sparta, the only reason I wouldn't say Ghost of Sparta is the second best God of War game is because of the gameplay, right? Because God of War 3, the gameplay, the boss fights, it can't be denied, bro, just because of that. But as far as the story shit go, Ghost of Sparta got the second best story off the rip. So how am I ranking this? Okay, God of War 2, God of War 3, Ghost of Sparta. Fourth is gotta be, fourth though. Damn. What's the fourth best God of War game, bro? I gotta go with the original God of War, bro. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I said Athenos, bro. I'm tripping. But yeah, Ares gave him that scar on his face. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that shit. Yeah. Kratos got that fucking cut on his eye. And when he tried to fucking, this is in Ghost of Sparta, when he tried to fucking help his brother out from getting kidnapped, Ares smacked the fuck out of him. That's why he got that scar on his eye. Like, come on, man. Who wrote these games? They needed some type of Nobel Peace Prize. The games are lit, okay? Okay. I'm going to say God of War, the original one, is the fourth best God of War game. Now, the only issues I really got with God of War 1 is some of the puzzles, some of the platforming. That game is very irritating to play, especially if you ain't played when it originally came out, because that game didn't age well, man. It didn't age well at all. I wouldn't say it's a difficult game or nothing like that, but it got cool boss fights. I say it got cool boss fights. It only got 3 boss fights, though. It only got 3 boss fights. Only one of them is difficult, which that's being the final boss fight. But I would say that's the fourth best game. It laid out the groundwork for the series. It introduced, to all the characters and shit. It's a cool game, man. It started the franchise, but I really ain't got too much to say about it. It's a cool game. Very, very, very fucking annoying. I just remember, it's a part where you in Hades and you got a fucking, I don't even know if you was in Hades at this part, but it's basically ceiling fans with goddamn spikes coming at them bitches, and you gotta jump across the ceiling fans. It was just real stupid, bro. It had this really fucking annoying enemy, the Jackal. Oh my god, that game got some really, really annoying shit. But as far as the story go, I think the story was excellent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know the story of the original God of War, man. You have a nightmares, you need to get redemption, and the gods tell Athena tells you that if you do certain tasks, goddamn, you gonna get absolved of your crimes, man. But of course, we all know that they was lying to him and shit like that. And you gotta seek out the Temple of Fate. Well, they actually fucked up. Well, I didn't. Well, they probably know it was gonna be a series. It's a couple of errors in the original God of War. Like they said that it was only one Titan left from the Great Battle. As we all know, they went back and changed it because they added Titans to the game. But I'm really not gonna fault them that much. It was Kronos, by the way, which is like the grandfather of all the fucking gods. What else? It was just a cool game, man. Very cool game. I fucks with it heavy. God of War 1 is definitely the fourth best God of War game. Fifth best God of War game. I have to give it to Ascension, bro. God of War Ascension, it came out 2013. It was either March 5th or March 12th, 2013. I can't remember. I want to say it was March 5th. Anyway, man, God of War Ascension, very, very, very dope game. Very dope game. It was a prequel. The only thing I really didn't like about God of War Ascension is that it wasn't needed, bro. The year that it came out in, and the story that it told was not needed at all. It didn't flesh out nothing in the God of War mythos. It didn't add nothing to the series, bro. It just didn't. The game had great graphics, it had great gameplay, but the story didn't need to be told. It just didn't. Like, it's kind of like a rehash of God of War 2, the way they was telling the story. Like in God of War 2, you was seeking out the Sisters of Fate. And then in this one, you was trying to escape the fucking the Furies. And the Furies were kind of like the Sisters of Fate, but the thing about the Furies was they carried out whenever you betrayed a god, they pretty much carried out your sentence, right? So I don't know, bro. God of War Ascension was cool. The story it made sense, but it was not needed. Because you already knew that Kratos wasn't gonna die. It was no danger in the fucking game. And it was basically the earliest in the timelines, the earliest God of War game. So how the shit panned out. It didn't make it was not needed at all. I don't know why they made the game. It was a great game. I fuck with it, but it was not needed at all. So I really ain't got too much to say about fucking God of War Ascension, man. And I would say the worst God of War game is Chains of Olympus, even though do not sleep on Chains of Olympus. It was the first PSP God of War game, but it was dope, man. It was very dope. Like the story in Chains of Olympus was it was pretty cool, man. I can't even fully remember the fucking story, to be honest with you, but I just remember like they did explain certain shit. Like they showed that Kratos was actually the one that imprisoned like Atlas and shit. You know how Atlas like carrying the world on his shoulders and all this other dumb shit. They showed that that Kratos was the one that did that to him. What else? I believe the main boss was like Hades' wife. You remember Hades' wife was dead in fucking God of War 3. They showed you that Kratos was the one that fucking murked the motherfucking that. Well, Chains of Olympus, of course, came out before God of War 3. I did not play Chains of Olympus before God of War 3, if I'm remembering correctly, but Chains of the gameplay was alright, man. Story was cool. Like, he went to he had the option to go chill with his daughter in the fucking Elysian fields, but he had to give away all his demigod powers. And it was okay, man. Definitely not the best God of War game, man. It says, Jack, what was your reaction to the primordial fighting? Do you think Kratos could beat them? Which part you talking about, bro? Yeah, it made him human. Yeah. I'll probably read y'all. You know what? I was streaming this because I'll probably reading y'all comments. I ain't been reading y'all comments, bro. What y'all saying in the chat, man? What do y'all think is the best God of War game? And what y'all thinking right now, bro? The sex QTE weren't needed. I mean, they not needed, but I think they just like it's like it's a part of the franchise now, so they just gonna keep doing that. Y'all talking about goddamn Uncharted right now. Y'all not even paying attention to what I'm saying. If someone wanted to get into God of War, what game should they start with? The first one, God of War, the original one. The original one, absolutely. Absolutely. God of War 3. All right. I don't understand how y'all say God of War 3 is the best game, bro. It makes no logical sense to me. What in God of War 3 makes it better than God of War 2? The story in God of War 3 makes absolutely no fucking sense. It was some phoned in bullshit, bro. Like, when you opened up Pandora's box in the first game, you actually released like kindness and free thought, and the reason Zeus was so mad at you in God of War 2 is because when you opened up the box, you released all the deadly sins, and that's why he started to hate you and he was jealous. Like, come on, bro. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. And then they Pandora, that's goddamn Hephaestus' daughter, and you feel a connection to her because she remind you of goddamn Calliope, and you want to look over. Get out of here, bro. Stop it. The story was absolute. It was trash, bro. Absolute fucking garbage. The boss fights were fire. The boss fights were definitely great in God of War. And let me say something else, just because it's a bad, like, this is the thing about God of War and Uncharted is specifically why I'm talking about this. Do you know how great of a game you gotta be to still be the worst Uncharted God of War game? Like, a terrible God of War game is still better than 95% of the games that come out. So it ain't a bad thing. That's like saying you the worst player on the goddamn the reigning champions. Well, you still was on the goddamn championship squad, all right? So it ain't no bad thing. But that's enough about God of War, man. Uncharted. Now, the thing I want to talk about Uncharted, bro, I really can't rate the Uncharted games, man. It's a couple of things I just want to touch on as far as the Uncharted shit go, because I don't understand them personally, man. Maybe y'all can help me, dog. A lot of people, and matter of fact, I believe tomorrow the anniversary of Uncharted 4's release. I think it might be. I could be wrong. Anyway, Uncharted 4. Now, Uncharted 4 been out roughly a year. And people, even though Uncharted 4 is critically acclaimed, gamers love it. But the popular consensus on Uncharted 4 is a couple of things. It's that the story was poorly paced, and the gameplay wasn't that fun. But in my opinion, arguably Uncharted 4 is the best Uncharted game. But it depends on where you're looking at it from, right? Because if you're looking at Uncharted 4 from a purely narrative standpoint, I can't see how Uncharted 4 is not the best Uncharted game. And I just don't know, man, because like it made complete sense. A lot of people say, well, the first 4 or 5 chapters of Uncharted 4 are boring. They're supposed to, and I don't even know how to word this. Uncharted 4 is not supposed to be boring, like a boring game to play, but you are supposed to feel bored because at the beginning of Uncharted 4, Nathan Drake is retired, right? So he's retired and he's settled into his life with Elena. So they want you to feel like he's in a rut. They want you to feel like, he has a thirst for adventure. That's why that game starts out like that. And people criticize Uncharted 4 for the pacing, but it should be praised for the pacing, in my opinion. It lays out the story perfectly. They made you feel the way that Nathan Drake was feeling. A lot of people was like, shout out to the donation, say, oh, hell, Jack move. I appreciate you, brother. A lot of people like, well, this is boring. Like, he's a middle-aged white man in fucking New Orleans that, he want to get back out in this treasure hunting shit, right? So the story, narrative-wise, made perfect fucking sense. The pacing made perfect sense, man. And it tied the series together in a nice, complete bow, man. Complete package. So I have no qualms with the story of Uncharted 4. Now, a lot of people upset, oh, they added his brother Sam. Now, naturally, Sam was not originally a character in the Uncharted franchise, so they had to take some creative liberty with the writing to add in Sam. It did not feel shoehorned in, it did not feel forced, and once again, it made sense, bruh. Then a lot of people don't like the fact that, oh, why would Sam lie to Drake and why would he do that? Listen, bro. Same thing he told Drake. As far as when he lied to Drake, I'm assuming everybody beat Uncharted for the fact that Sam lied to Drake about the dude was gonna kill him if he didn't find the treasure. The reason he did that, they whole life goal was to find that fucking treasure. Him and his brother Drake, right? It was his whole goal in life, bro. Like, I just love the way. And one of the most criticized chapters in Uncharted is the one where they show the backstory of how the fucking game started. That was the most pivotal fucking chapter in any Uncharted game. Fuck the action. Fuck that you just walking around the house, you a little kid. It explained everything, bro. It showed you why you went after it basically laid out why every game took place, bro. How could you have an issue with that? It explained why you were doing all the shit you've been doing since 2007, man. The shit was beautiful. It explained some shit that fucking Uncharted 3 set up and it took them 5 years to talk about, that his name wasn't really Nathan Drake, that his name was fucking Nathan Morgan, shit like that. Like, it was just, I don't know, bro. Uncharted 4 is a fucking beautiful game, dog. Beautiful fucking game. I don't have any issues with it. I do have issues with it. Let me take that back real quick. If you're looking at Uncharted from a gameplay standpoint, there is nothing wrong with Uncharted 4 as far as gameplay go, but I will say that as far as playing Uncharted games, I have no desire to ever play Uncharted 4's campaign again. Why is that? I don't know why that is, honestly. It's not boring, and it's not like it's not I don't even know. It's unfun a word. Like, it's not fun, but it's not. I just don't have any desire. Like Uncharted 1, 2, 3. I played all those games roughly anywhere between 10 to 14 times a piece, right? But I have no desire to play Uncharted 4 ever again. Campaign, I don't know why. I just don't. And that's pretty much the big, like, if somebody got an issue with Uncharted 4's gameplay, honestly, I can kind of see that. It feels different from the other Uncharted games. It still feels like Uncharted, but it's something about the gameplay that I really don't have a desire to ever play that game again. And like I said, I really can't pinpoint why I feel that way. Honestly, and most games, and Uncharted is kind of a victim of the every game gotta be an open world, every game gotta be a hub world. Uncharted excels at being a linear experience, right? So when they opened up the game a little bit more and gave you exploration, it kind of, I don't know, man. It's something about Uncharted 4, the way it's set up, that you want to play it once to experience, but after that you cool. Like, you don't really want to go back to it. Like, I really don't want to go back to it, man. And I don't know why. Because even though it's opened up and you feel like you can explore, it still feel like you're in a fucking closed off environment. Like, they tried to give it a more open feel, but by them opening it up more, it felt like I could do less. It's kind of hard to explain, man. Because they give you the false perception that you can actually go wherever the fuck you want to go. Now, these open areas are very vast and large, man. But at the same time, you still got a destination that you got to get to, and it's kind of like, it's like a straight line, but they put like squiggly lines all over that motherfucker. Like, I can still see the straight line though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Very weird. Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 is a great game. I beat Uncharted 2 in like a day and a half. Uncharted 2, I could not put down Uncharted 2, man. But what I will say about Uncharted 2 is it's overrated. No way around it, bro. It's overrated. Uncharted 2 is a great game. I love Uncharted 2. I ain't got too much bad to say about Uncharted 2, but the way that fans look at Uncharted 2 as opposed to the other Uncharted games is unjustified, and I really don't know why. Like, people that love Uncharted 2, if you ask them what the synopsis or the plot line was for Uncharted 2, I doubt any of them could accurately explain it to you, man. Uncharted 2 suffered from the same thing God of War 3 suffers from. Well, actually, I take that back. No, I don't. It has great gameplay, great graphics. Arguably, well, as far as the original trilogy, arguably the best graphics in the original trilogy. But the story ain't that good, man. The story in Uncharted 2 is not that fucking good, man. It's just not. Just like God of War 3, the story ain't that good, but the gameplay and the graphics and the overall package outweighs a lot of the negatives. Now, I'm not gonna say, the story fucking sucked, okay? There's no way around it, bro. The story fucking sucked. Now, I like Lazarevich, I like Lieutenant Drago, and I don't like Tenzin. I don't get the fandom for Tenzin. I can't fuck with Tenzin. I just don't like the story. Okay, what I will say is I like the way the story flowed in Uncharted 2 the best. Uncharted 2, as far as the story pacing and the way that it flowed, it had the best pacing of any Uncharted game, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Everything made sense. The way you went from this area, you spent 2 or 3 chapters in this area, then you go 2 or 3 chapters in this area. It made sense, bro. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 9 chapters, like the flow. Uncharted 2 got a real nice flow to it, like the way that they did the shit. But like Carl Schaefer, right? Who the fuck cares about Carl Schaefer? Do any of y'all even know who Carl Schaefer is? One of the main fucking story focal points of Uncharted 2 is Carl Schaefer. And that's why you went into the ice caves with fucking Tenzin. Carl Schaefer told you if you wanted to figure out the secret with the Chinamani Stone and Marco Polo and the fleet of ships, you'll go into the ice caves and you found out that fucking, they was cannibals and all this other stuff. Like, the story is just fucking stupid, bro. It's stupid. I don't even got much to say about Uncharted 2. Other than the story, I don't have an issue with it. It did introduce some memorable characters like fucking Harry Flynn. I fucks with Harry Flynn. And introduced Chloe Frazier. It introduced them cheeks. You feel me? So I don't have an issue with Uncharted 2. I just think it's kind of overrated, man, as far as the story go. It's a cool game, man. It does have way more replay value than Uncharted 4. I'm never gonna argue that. But as far as the narrative story, Uncharted 4 shits on Uncharted 2. Facts. That's facts. Gameplay is a different story. But that's facts, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna say I don't know which Uncharted game is my favorite game, man. It switches up. You know what? But shout out to Java Dog in the chat. That's pretty much how I feel, though. I feel like Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are on level playing ground. You know what I'm saying? One of them excels in gameplay. One of them excels in story. If Uncharted 4, or if it was an Uncharted game with Uncharted 4 storytelling with Uncharted 2 gameplay and level design, that's a perfect game, in my opinion. A perfect fucking game. No way around it, bro. Perfect fucking game. But moving on. So I'm going to say Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4. That's a toss-up for me. I really can't tell you which one I like better. I like both of them for different things, man. Now, another point of contention. A lot of people want to say that Uncharted 1 Drake's Fortune, Uncharted Drake's Fortune is the worst Uncharted game. If you feel that way, now this is going to be real rude, so prepare for this. If you feel that Uncharted 1 is the worst Uncharted game, write a Bible verse on your forehead and hang yourself from a prison cell, much like Aaron Hernandez, okay? Because you done lost your goddamn mind, bro. I don't even want to. This is some type shit that I be ready to throw hands about, all right? Uncharted 1 is a great fucking game. It ain't no way around it. Uncharted 1 is a great game. There is nothing wrong with Uncharted. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go even further. The only problem with Uncharted 1 is that it takes place all in one area. That is the only issue with Uncharted 1. Uncharted 1 had great characters. Y'all can't argue that because guess what? We on Uncharted 4 right now. We're about to get Uncharted Lost Legacy. So it introduced all of that. It got one of the greatest fucking characters in video game history. Y'all know who I'm talking about, bro. Eddie Roger is one of the greatest video game characters of all time. I don't even want to discuss that, bro. Y'all already know Eddie Roger, the GOAT, man. Facts. What else? The story was simple and concise, and it made sense. What you did in the game made sense. The combat was very nice. The shooting was cool. Like, the combat is dope in Uncharted 1. The graphics were serviceable for the time. They remastered the shit, still looks great. I don't understand the fucking the anger and the hate that Uncharted 1 get, man. Uncharted 1 is a great fucking game, bro. It is nothing wrong with Uncharted 1, bro. The only thing I say wrong with Uncharted 1 is a very short game. Uncharted 1 is a very short game, all right? That's pretty much all I got to say. Uncharted 1's fucking great. Gabriel. Okay, I will say Gabriel Roman. He kind of forgettable as a character. Navarro, they really didn't do. See, Uncharted 1 had like 3 villains, but really the only one that stood out was Eddie Raja. And the thing about Eddie was he really wasn't a villain. A lot of people don't even realize this, right? See, I'm getting off in a fucking tangent, but Eddie Raja is not a villain in the Uncharted series. If you know the Uncharted lore, right? Before the events of Uncharted 1, Eddie Raja and Drake was just like fucking Drake and Harry Flynn or Drake and Sam. They were on a mission, right? They pulled off a mission together because they friends, even though they both thieves, honor amongst thieves, shit like that. Drake is the one that turned on Eddie Raja. The reason Eddie Raja is mad at Drake is because Drake fucking robbed his motherfucking ass and then did the events of Uncharted 1, okay? And Drake fucked Eddie Raja's sister. I don't know if y'all ever seen the motion comic that came out with Uncharted 2, but it's called Uncharted 2 Eye of Indra, right? And that was really dope as well because they introduced characters that never even made it into Uncharted games, like Daniel Pinkerton, and it introduced Eddie Raja's sister. Her name is Rika Raja. And Drake fucking donkey fucked her in the back of a goddamn cabana somewhere in the middle of the woods. So Eddie Raja got a lot of reasons to be mad at Drake, bro. And then it was funny because Rika ended up saving Eddie and Drake life, and she robbed both they motherfucking ass. So Rika was really about that life. I'm really upset, bro. They never put Rika Raja in a mainline Uncharted campaign. I think that would have been very dope. Missed opportunity, man. I'm really sad they never put Rika Raja in a fucking Uncharted campaign. I always wanted them to do that. I think that would have been really, really, really dope. But yeah, of course it's gonna be spoilers because if I'm telling you about it, I'm assuming you beat the shit. So I mean, some of this shit just is common knowledge, bro. But what else? Yeah, man, I really don't got an issue with Uncharted 1. I mean, you can complain about certain shit like the enemy variety and shit like that, but that just come with it being the first game in the franchise, right? You just gotta accept some of that shit. Lacking, like I said, the lack of variety when it comes to locales. It was all jungle areas and whatnot, some underground catacombs, but the game was dope, man. Uncharted 1, definitely the third best Uncharted game, without a doubt. I'm gonna say Uncharted, and this is another thing. We got to talk about Uncharted 3, bro. Because in my humble opinion, Uncharted 3 is I'm not gonna call Uncharted 3 absolute garbage. I want to call it absolute garbage. I can't fucking stand Uncharted 3. I cannot stand that game at all, bro. I know one of the reasons I don't like Uncharted 3. Well, let me see. How do I even want to address this? Well, one of the reasons I don't like Uncharted 3 is because 2 days before the game dropped, and Uncharted 3 came out November 1st, 2011, if I'm not mistaken. 2 days before the game dropped, the launch trailer of Uncharted 3. They pretty much told you the whole synopsis of the game. Like, you know how like when you watch a trailer and they fuck up the editing and it just spoil everything? I basically knew the entire story of Uncharted 3 from watching the launch trailer. They told you about the Rama, the pillars, and Ubar, and all this other dumb shit. They basically just, I don't know, for some reason that trailer really ruined the game for me. Like, I felt spoiled. I felt like I knew what was gonna happen. This is the biggest issue with Uncharted 3, bro. And Naughty Dog have even confirmed this themselves. And other people have noticed this. I'm not a rocket scientist when it comes to this shit, but the game feels very, very, very disjointed. Nothing seems to flow like the flow. Like how I was talking about the flow of Uncharted 2, the flow of Uncharted 3 is completely off. It makes no, and the reason for that is because when Naughty Dog makes Uncharted games, they come out with all the set pieces first, right? So before they made Uncharted 3, they said, okay, we're gonna have a boat set piece, we're gonna have a flaming chateau that crumbles down, and they take the set pieces and writes the story around the set pieces, right? So they already knew they was gonna have a level where a ship, you was on a big cruise ship, and it was gonna they just pretty much had this, so they knew it was gonna be a level where you had to be on a plane and it was gonna fall out the sky. They knew that going into writing the story, so they gotta write the story around that, and it feels really disjointed. Nothing it makes sense, but then again, it's stupid as fuck. Like, okay, you find one piece of this thing you need, and then it's like, oh, but the other piece is in Syria. And then it like do a whitewash, and then you in Syria. Like, come on, bro. 1 minute you in Syria, 1 minute you in London, 1 minute you in a fucking cargo ship, 1 minute you in a fucking cargo plane, then you in the desert. Then like I can appreciate the different locales they put the game in, but then again I can't, because it made it really like fucking cartoony. It made it very like serialized. It felt like you was watching a shitty TV show at certain points, right? Like, where is Nathan Drake in the game going next, guys? Like, no, my nigga, like, tell a concise story that makes sense. That game really pisses me off, bro. Uncharted 3 really pisses me off, bro. It really do. And I can't, it's like, I know why it do, but then again, it's still a good game. I still like Uncharted 3, but a lot of shit in Uncharted 3 just don't make sense. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. When you in the cargo ship, the ship at the end. Well, first of all, before we even get to that, the shipyard, right? The shipyard section of Uncharted 3, I believe it's 3 chapters. Completely fucking pointless. Now, if you never played Uncharted 3, click it off right now, because this is about to be spoilers. The reason you were on this ship was because you thought that Ramses and his pirate gang kidnapped Sully. When you get to the part of the ship that Sully is being held, you realize that it's a goddamn dummy, and Sully was never on the fucking ship to begin with. So that really pissed me off, bro. You wasted 3 chapters of this fucking game to go get somebody that wasn't even fucking there, bro. Like, it just really irritated me. They introduced Ramses, who I thought Ramses was a great character, pirate leader, just like Eddie Roger. But Ramses was only in the game like 2 minutes. You met him, then you shot his motherfucking ass, and he's like, oh, bye-bye, hi, baby. Some stupid shit he said. Then he committed suicide on the goddamn cruise ship, man. I don't know why they introduced fucking Ramses if he was only gonna be in the game like 2 fucking minutes, dog. Like, I just don't. It's so much shit about Uncharted 3 that don't make no sense, bro. It makes no sense. I can't stand it. And then, okay, Talbot. Talbot is clearly a fucking knockoff of Harry Flynn, right? It's basically like Talbot. If you wanted Harry Flynn in the game, how about you stop killing off all your villains, Naughty Dog? Talbot wasn't nothing but a knockoff fuckboy version. It was a great value version of fucking Harry Flynn. It just don't make. They throwing tarot cards at people. Like, the game makes no fucking sense, bro. That was never explained. Like, it just nothing in the game makes sense, bro. They drinking the water from underground and it's hypnotizing people. And he threw a tarot card at somebody. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, bro. I was waiting for the Miss Cleo DLC to come out. Call me now for your free tarot reading. Like, what the fuck? What does this have to do with anything, bro? He threw like a card with a fucking bunny rabbit on it, and then the nigga broke his leg. Like, come on, bro. And then it had these huge spiders that was like infected. They never explained that. Uncharted 3. I don't know who wrote that game. And it was a quick turnaround from Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3. It was like 2 years development. So it was 2 years between Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2, though. Y'all see that improvement. And a lot of people, well, people say this too. Uncharted 2 was so good of a game. It was really hard. It was going to be hard for them to top Uncharted 2 anyway. So I just think they needed more time to cook up ideas with Uncharted 3. And you know, when Amy Hennig, now if you don't know who Amy Hennig is, she wrote the first 3 Uncharted games. When she left Naughty Dog, a lot of people were upset about this. A lot of people were saddened by this, man. But personally, I was happy because she wrote Uncharted 3. And Uncharted 3, from a narrative standpoint, made no goddamn sense. No sense whatsoever. The game was absolutely. The game was stupid, people. The game is fucking stupid. Uncharted 3 is fucking stupid. Now, I will say, I did like, they showed Drake as a young lad. You know, they showed when he linked up with Sully originally. It played on, father-son relationship they had. It showed that backstory, so I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate the storytelling, man. Another thing Uncharted 3 did that I really don't like. Uncharted 3, the best way to describe Uncharted 3 is it's just a cock tease, bro. It teases you in the shit that don't never happen. They fooled you into thinking Sully was dead. He didn't ever die. You drunk the fuckboy juice and you went crazy. You was hallucinating. It was just fuck Uncharted 3, right? I gotta blow my goddamn nose, nigga. I gotta blow my goddamn. Fuck Uncharted 3, man. All right, it ain't nowhere around it, bro. Fuck Uncharted 3. I can't condone it. It's too much shit to even get into, bro. I'll be here all fucking day telling you why Uncharted 3 don't make no sense, man. I mean, I like some of the parts of it. I can't even. Okay, and then another thing, right? This is how bad this is, bro. I forgot this character name, dude. I forgot this character name. The Indian guy. The Indian or the Hindu, I don't know what he is. The Indian guy that you Salim. His name's Salim. I just thought about it. It's Salim, right? Salim was kind of like a version of Tenzin that could speak English, right? Okay, this is the issue with Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3, and this is the issue with all the Uncharted games, really. They kind of follow this cookie cutter, like formulaic way they tell the story. And it was, I wouldn't say it got stale, just the way that it was executed in Uncharted 3 really didn't make sense. Uncharted kind of got to follow the same story. It's a treasure. You trying to get the treasure, and this evil guy trying to get the treasure, and it's always a lost city. But it was really handled poorly in fucking Uncharted. You're hallucinating. You got power of the Jinn. Fuck Uncharted 3, bro. I don't even want to talk about shit no more, man. And the worst Uncharted game, which once again, to be the worst Uncharted or God of War game, you got to be fucking fantastic. So I would say the worst game is Uncharted Golden Abyss, the Vita title. Now, I will say this. I enjoy So Excited. I ain't making no sense. So Excited. I ain't making no sense. Let me know something. I enjoy Uncharted Golden Abyss, man. The only problem I really got with Uncharted Golden Abyss is that I don't know. Like certain characters, I felt like certain characters weren't needed in that game, and I kind of feel like that game had different characters originally, but Naughty Dog asked them not to use those characters. For instance, right, the character Dante in Uncharted Golden Abyss could have easily been Eddie Roger. Now I know y'all getting Jack, why you ain't talking about? If you play Uncharted Golden Abyss, the character Dante could have easily been Eddie Roger. Okay, it just would have made more sense from a narrative standpoint or overall story arc standpoint for that to be Eddie Roger. But and they were actually Ben Studios. The game was developed by Ben Studios. They were actually making a sequel to Uncharted Golden Abyss, but Naughty Dog asked them not to. Right, so they canceled it. And I just think Naughty Dog kind of protective of the Uncharted IP, so they really didn't want them using that many characters and shit. But 3 was the most fun gameplay wise. I disagree. Uncharted 3 was not the most fun gameplay wise. I highly disagree. Uncharted 2 was I think Uncharted 2 was the most fun Uncharted game to play. Uncharted 2. I like the shooting better. I like the combat better. Like a lot of shit they added in Uncharted 3 really didn't add to the gameplay. You could throw back grenades. Okay, big whoop. Who gives a fuck? You could throw back grenades. All right, cool. I didn't like the gunplay in Uncharted 3 that much. I didn't like, well, I'm not gonna say I didn't like the gunplay. I guess I didn't like the guns. Like, I really wasn't too fond of the guns in Uncharted 3, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. But we talking about Uncharted Golden Abyss right now. They introduced a character, Chase. You know, chick Drake was going there. Uncharted, I don't know. I really ain't got much to say about Uncharted Golden Abyss. It was cool, man. You know, they had like a military tyrant you had to go after. He was kind of like Lazarevich, you know. You had to go after him. The game was very long too. As a matter of fact, Uncharted Golden Abyss was so long, bro. It kind of felt like you played two different games, right? Because the first half of Uncharted Golden Abyss, you pretty much it's like you and Chase, and then like the second half of Uncharted Golden Abyss is like you and Sully. But I really ain't got much to say about Uncharted Golden Abyss. It's a cool game. I would recommend that you play it if you have access to a PlayStation Vita. It's fun. One of the biggest issues with Uncharted Golden Abyss is that it was an early Vita game, and they shoehorned in a lot of the V. See, this is the problem with Golden Abyss. It was one of the premier fucking Vita titles, but they kind of made it to where it was a tech demo at the same time, right? Because they added a whole bunch of shit that really didn't need to be in there. Like, you could tap shit. If you see a treasure in the game, you don't pick up treasures. You tap them when you see them, and you gotta hold up the fucking Vita up to the light, and it's just a whole bunch of dumb shit. Swipe the screen, this, that. I don't know, man. And that's one of the reasons Uncharted Golden Abyss will probably never be on a PlayStation console, because it would be hard to switch over all that functionality that they put in that goddamn game. But I liked it. I really like that game. Honestly, I kind of want to put Golden Abyss over Uncharted 3, but I can't do that. Uncharted 3 is still better than Golden Abyss. The petty part of Jack Move want to say that Golden Abyss is a better game than Uncharted 3, but I don't think I could do that. In good faith, I cannot do that, bro. But anyway, man, that's about it, man. That's about it, bro. I just wanted to rate the games for y'all. So to recap what I said, go back and listen to the goddamn video. But to recap the rankings, I would say God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War 1. I did that wrong already. Y'all got to excuse me. To recap the rankings of these fucking games, because I'm losing my mind trying to talk to y'all, because y'all ain't gonna listen to this, man. Y'all still gonna have y'all wrong opinions. Yeah, I said wrong opinions. Yeah. Who mad about that? Oh, okay. My favorite God of War games in order: God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War Ghost of Sparta, God of War 1, God of War Ascension, and God of War Chains of Olympus. Once again, I did not play God of War Betrayal, but that is canon to the God of War franchise. My favorite Uncharted games in order: Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are tied for me. Some days I feel like Uncharted 4 the best game. Some days I feel like Uncharted 2 the best games. I really can't rank them. Then it's Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 3, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. So with that being said, that's how I rank these games, man. Two of my favorite franchises. And we got two more installments of both of these franchises coming out real soon, man. We got Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. I don't know where it's going to fall at. It's looking promising. Uncharted Lost Legacy looking real promising, man. We going to find out in a couple of months. And God of War. It's just titled God of War. I'm looking forward. Like I said, man, this is the first God of War game directed by somebody who's directed a God of War game before. And it just so happened that he directed my favorite God of War game, which is God of War 2. So shout out to Sony Santa Monica. Shout out to Naughty Dog. Shout out to the PlayStation fans out there. Shout out to everybody, man. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I've been talking for too long, bro. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, bro. I'm tired too. But I appreciate y'all for watching, man. I appreciate to the homie that donated, man. I just appreciate y'all, man. But this Jack Moo, though. I'm signing out, though. Peace.